So here's Project Farmhouse day 25. I'm gonna call this part one. I was here for a few hours the other day and I ran electric lines to put recessed lights in. And then I'm just turning that old light box into a junction box. I fixed this insulation, and the way there's a pipe running right where this 2x4 is. There's an air vent going into this wall and down. So that's there to support that air vent to make sure it's got the right slope to it, because air vents have to be sloped because they could get water into them. And if they do get water into them, it has to drain into the sewer. So you can't take that 2x4 out, and certainly can't take the pipe out. But the insulation here was all messed up, probably for two reasons. When the plumbers ran the air lines in this modular home, they probably ripped it up and just did whatever they needed to do. And there was a pretty big roof leak right here. So the insulation was all wet and moldy. So it's R38 insulation. So here's the remnants of it right here, right? So there was two pieces on either side of the pipe, and then there was nothing underneath the pipe though, right? So what I did was I took two pieces of R19 insulation and I sandwiched the air vent in between the insulation. So there's a piece of insulation on top without the craft face, and then there's a piece of R19 insulation under the pipe, so that I've got a good R38 value, which is like 2x8, 2x10, so 8 to 10 inches of insulation up there. Feels a lot better. And then I had to cut that hole just to run the electric line, because I put a recessed light right there. So I cut a hole just so I can get my hand up there and move the wire over to there and tap it in. But this room's much brighter now. So look how much better that is. They just had one, 60 watt bulb in there. Even if it was one 100 watt bulb, just wasn't a lot of light. But now this room will be lit up at night, which is good. I want this laundry area to be like a working area. You could make this, you could put a table here for folding your laundry, or you could use it for storage. You could make a pantry here if you want. Anyway, I wanted it to be plenty of light. So now I'm in the process of repairing the drywall. So I'm gonna patch that, And like I showed you in other videos, the plumbing's done, so that'll get patched. We'll fix any little, areas that need to be touched up. Where the hangers were for a piece of wood that was mounted against the wall. We'll make sure this is drywall, mudded appropriately and cleaned up. And then hopefully I'll be ready to paint this room, and then we'll be able to start doing the flooring. But before I actually paint this room, I'm gonna go to the other bathroom upstairs and finish that off first, and that'll be my day 25 part 2 video. So there it is for Project Farmhouse day 25. This is my part 1, and I'll my part 2 video, I'll show this being fixed. At least the drywall will be hung. It probably won't be mudded today though.